From our first look at the Straw Hat Pirates finally docking on the island to the gritty introduction of Vought International Supers and the magical world of Oz, here is why Fortnite 2026 will be absolutely insane. As the curtain begins to close on another massive year for the Fortnite metaverse, the rumor mill has officially spun into overdrive, and it is offering us a tantalizing glimpse at what Epic has in store for us in early 2026. While Winterfest has kept loopers busy with all the presents and festivities, we are looking at a potential lineup that does not just raise the hype for the current season, but sets the stage for upcoming ones in a major way. If the latest waves of credible insider leaks and data mined files are to be believed, we are staring down the barrel of the most significant run of pop culture dominance in the history of the game. We are not just talking about a few niche skins here and there, because we are talking about industry-shaking IP integrations that we have been begging for since the very beginning. From the high seas of anime's biggest juggernaut to the gritty streets of anti-superheroes, the roadmap for early 2026 is shaping up to be an absolute dream scenario for us. The crown jewel of these whispers, and undoubtedly the most anticipated collaboration in the entire history of Fortnite, is the long-awaited arrival of One Piece. For years, the Straw Hat rumors have floated around social media like a ghost ship constantly promised but never docking. But finally, multiple reliable insiders are now pointing to a definitive release window of early 2026, marking this as the headline event to kick off the new year. Unlike smaller anime crossovers, the One Piece integration is rumored to be a massive multi-wave event, similar to the Dragon Ball and Naruto rollouts. The first wave is expected to focus on the core heavy hitters of the crew, so we are talking about Monkey D. Luffy, Roronoa Zoro, Nami, and Sanji finally making their debut on the battle bus. The potential for gameplay here is staggering, so just imagine the chaos of a Gum Gum Pistol Mythic, or a three-sword style melee weapon that rivals the Infinity Blade in sheer spectacle. There is also chatter about a Battle Royale map update that could see the Thousand Sunny docked off the coast, which is not just a skin drop, it is a cultural event that anime fans have been waiting for. If the early 2026 timeline holds, it will likely be the biggest and first collab of the year, essentially breaking the internet the second the trailer drops. While One Piece brings the colorful adventure, the tone is set to shift drastically with the heavily rumored collaboration with the boys. This partnership has been teased on and off for nearly 2 years, but with the climactic finale of the Amazon Prime series looming, the timing for a Fortnite crossover has never been more perfect. This collaboration represents a grittier edge for the game, leaning into the T-rated boundary with characters like Homelander, Billy Butcher, and Starlight. Rumors suggest we could see a Temp V mythic item that grants temporary super strength or laser vision, balanced by a health draining mechanic to mimic the show's unstable powers. On a completely different note, but equally massive in terms of cultural footprint, is the leaked collaboration with the Wicked film franchise. With the second part of the movie adaptation dominating the box office conversation worldwide, a Fortnite crossover feels like a marketing inevitability, and insider reports indicate that this collaboration is currently in active development, likely timed to keep the momentum of the film alive into the new year. Rounding out this leaked roadmap is a massive win for gaming nostalgia, known as Crash Bandicoot. As part of the Gaming Legends series, which has already immortalized icons like Master Chief, Kratos, and Lara Croft, Crash is the missing piece of the 90s platformer puzzle. The leaks suggest that this collaboration has been on the table for a while, but was held back to align with a specific announcement from the franchise's holders. Seeing the orange marsupial in a battle royale as a skin might be surreal, but I think it will be as a sidekick just like the Groot or SpongeBob. We can expect a cel-shaded design that stays true to the Crash 4. It's about time aesthetic, complete with a chaotic spin attack emote that might even have some interaction with crates or loot. Having Crash Bandicoot running alongside you is the ultimate testament to Fortnite's status as the museum of gaming history. And it makes you wonder if Spyro is lurking in the files somewhere close behind him, considering how often those two franchises cross over. If early 2026 delivers on even half of these rumored collaborations, we are looking at a golden era for the game, because the diversity of this lineup spanning anime, TV, musical, and retro gaming ensures that there is something for literally everyone. Epic Games has mastered the art of the hype train, and by stacking One Piece, The Boys, Wicked, and Crash Bandicoot, Into the same promotional window, they are ensuring that player retention remains at an all-time high. It is rare to see such a concentrated burst of high-profile collaborations hitting one after another, but it seems like Epic is trying to make a statement that Fortnite is still the king of live service games. Whether you are excited for the anime aesthetics of the Grand Line or the boys, the sheer variety of content coming our way is staggering. It effectively proves that no IP is off limits, and that Fortnite is the only place where these worlds can collide so seamlessly. Leakers are digging for more files every single day, so keep your eyes peeled for encrypted packs in the next update, because we might even see early texture files or sound effects slip through the cracks before the year ends. 2026 is not just another year for Fortnite, because it is shaping up to be the year where the game finally collects the last few Infinity Stones of pop culture. And then we've got the wildest card in the deck, South Park. If you told me a year ago we'd see Cartman in Fortnite, I would have said no shot. But these leaks are crazy specific. Supposedly, Epic figured out how to bring kid characters by putting them in mech suits. Kinda like what they did with Morty and Bart Simpson, it solves the hitbox problem while still keeping that goofy South Park look. The squad is reportedly all here: Cartman, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny. But the mechanics sound even crazier. Leaks mention a mythic weapon called the Stick of Truth, a direct nod to the RPG game. Even funnier is a proposed Rift Anomaly mechanic tagged as Everyone Kills Kenny. This involves a respawn token system, playing on the running gag of Kenny's constant deaths. While some insiders think this might be held back for a 2026 release, the winter setting of South Park fits this event perfectly. And for those who missed my latest update breakdown, we'll continue with the map changes, which, this time around, are slim pickings. On one hand, that's understandable. It's the first big update on a new map after all. Half of Golden Coast is now covered in snow, so if you're tired of beach parties and deserts, you should head up to the northern part of the map. There, you'll find the brand new ski resort location, which is probably one of the most atmospheric spots we've gotten in years. It's got a mountain hotel, some sick slopes, Christmas decorations, presents, and more. Now every Golden Coast resident can practice their snow sport skills. I think this location is going to be a favorite landing spot for a lot of loopers this winter. For me, it brings back warm nostalgia from a trip to Aspen. Throughout the resort, you can find small Christmas trees, and you're guaranteed to find one or even two chests underneath them. Plus, all the bushes have been decorated with festive holiday lights. As for changed locations, the one that turned out most atmospheric, in my opinion, is definitely Wonkyland. It was already a favorite spot for many loopers this chapter, but just look at how it's transformed with the snow. A true winter festival is in full swing. I highly recommend visiting the revamped park and grabbing a couple of hot cocoa mugs. And for those who prefer the cozy comfort of a fireplace at home, you should check out another location in the winter section of the island where the iconic Nutcracker House has appeared. Its interiors haven't changed since Chapter 2. The only difference is that now there are a lot of Easter eggs and Harry Potter-themed decorations, which is absolutely amazing. This is an absolute must-visit to grab a pint of butterbeer and chill with friends near the cozy fire. And Epic definitely deserves a thumbs up for that. So don't just sit there, toss a like on the video for the atmosphere. That pretty much wraps up the list of map changes. But of course, no looter will go without gifts this year, because the Winterfest cabin is back, and the atmosphere inside is absolutely incredible. If you peek in, you might hear the famous music from Harry Potter. You can open one gift every day throughout Winterfest. But remember, the event only runs until January 8th, so be sure to grab your presents in time. Now, we'll smoothly transition to the new features in this update. Epic just keeps delighting us with new mechanics that make the gameplay significantly more interesting. The star of this update is without a doubt the legendary DeLorean. Naturally, it has a large health pool and can hit 88 miles per hour. After that jump through time, which comes with a super cool animation, don't worry, the car and you become invulnerable to other players. Once you return to the island from your time travel trip, there will be a chest on the car guaranteed to contain a mythic weapon. It's a very atmospheric ride, so I definitely recommend it. But overall, this year's Winterfest feels a little weird, and data miners confirm it. Epic cut about half the content. You might be wondering why. I don't have the answer to that, but what I can tell you is there's no special Warner Bros. Mode and no Frozen collaboration. Sources say an Elsa skin and Olaf as a new sidekick were supposed to appear in Fortnite. However, the developers either cancelled or postponed the partnership. Well, at least the Winterfest cabin is back, so we'll take that win. The whole situation is pretty strange in my opinion, with no trailer and no big announcements. But let's hope the upcoming event closer to Christmas and New Year cheers us all up, and we get an in-game concert featuring Sabrina Carpenter and Hatsune Miku. And how could I forget about the new skins? This time, Epic dropped an absolute avalanche of content on us. But forget the skins for a second, you have to check out these new sidekicks. My favorite, the one I'm definitely picking up without a second thought, is this adorable kitsune. By the way, you've probably heard that when you buy something in the store, it's best to use my creator code. So overall, it's a bit too early to give this Winterfest a rating. But let me just say, one of my all-time favorite festivals was the 2018. Back then, it wasn't even called Winterfest yet, and we didn't have the cozy Nutcracker Lodge with freebie gifts like we're used to now. It was more of an experiment Epic wanted to try out, especially since every live service game at the time was hopping on the holiday event hype train. Donald Mustard and the crew didn't want to miss out, and with everyone on holidays break, they needed something to keep the community entertained. So, for 14 days, the game dropped a ton of fun limited time modes, like Food Fight and One Shot. The OGs will remember the chaotic 50 versus 50 battles that turned the island into straight-up Vietnam. On top of that, there were daily challenges with rewards for completing them. If you were playing back in Chapter 1, Season 7, you'll probably remember everyone spamming the Take the Elf emote. It was a clear nod to the iconic Take the L. The holiday experiment was a hit, but let's be real. Epic wouldn't be Epic without messing something up. That year, they botched the dates, so the 14 days of Fortnite ended earlier than planned. When players realized they'd been scammed, Epic's community team apologized and extended the challenges for another week. Despite the hiccups, it was clear the holiday event would return the following year. Fast forward to Operation Snowdown, arguably one of the snowiest missions in Fortnite history. The goal? Spread the holiday cheer across the island. But honestly, this event didn't hit the same, especially compared to Winterfest 2019. First off, they ditched the amazing Nutcracker house in the lobby, which killed the whole vibe of unwrapping gifts. Instead of that satisfying mystery of cracking open a freebie, we got some meh challenges that gave out a couple of free skins. Not bad, but definitely not the same magic. The return of Wings of Storm and the addition of themed locations were probably the biggest highlights of the winter event. Sure, we didn't get the Nutcracker house as a cozy lobby hangout this time, but it did make its way onto the island. There, you could always count on looting 3 guaranteed chests, which definitely helped maintain some festive vibes. Another win was the return of classic modes. A fan favorite, Air Royale, where Fortnite basically turned into something like Warzone. No, this isn't an ad. As for Operation Snowdown, it had its moments, especially with the Shockwave mode, where weapons launched players back instead of dealing damage. The only way to win was to push your enemies into the storm. Modes like this saved the event from being boring, as they were genuinely fun to play. However, after the incredible Winterfest 2019, it feels like Epic hasn't been able to fully recapture the magic. The community noticed this, and so did I. Moving on to Winterfest 2022, it's hard to call it bad because the free rewards were solid. The Nutcracker house was packed with fun animations and trinkets, but the map itself saw barely any changes. Aside from a few minor updates you'd need a magnifying glass to spot, there wasn't much to celebrate. The holiday spirit felt missing, as if the event wasn't really happening. Instead of unique and exciting modes, we got creative maps again. While it worked the first time, replaying the same concept felt stale. That said, General Frost made his return, patrolling the map in his festive truck, keeping some of the holiday charm alive. Now, onto the past year's Winterfest. At first, I thought it deserved a lower ranking, especially since we lost the Nutcracker house again. However, it's clear Epic shifted focus toward developing new modes of metaverse and didn't want to reuse old assets. Instead of the Nutcracker, we got to help the Ship It company, which was a refreshing change. Unlike Operation Snowdown, we didn't have to grind boring challenges to unlock free skins. The rewards this year were actually pretty decent, with the standout being the festive Bushranger skin. Half the server seems to be rocking it. Another win this year was the fully fledged Holiday Village in the north. This time, General Frost stepped out of his truck and settled in the festive village. The location was incredibly atmospheric, although it was hard to enjoy with 1 million players landing there in every match. Other additions, like the delivery office and Krampus Hut, were nice touches but not particularly memorable. Overall though, this Winterfest was well put together, even if some things could have been polished further. If we consider the amount of work Epic put into this, they definitely deserve some credit. Learning from the mistakes of Operation Snowdown, they came back strong the following year with a proper holiday event that felt like the Winterfest we all know and love. That's why Winterfest 2021 secures the second spot on the list. Let's start with the return of the Nutcracker House in the lobby, bringing back the festive vibes we sorely missed the year before. This time though, General Frost took center stage as the festival's main hero, and the house was packed with fun decorations that added to its unique vibe. What got everyone excited were the 3 free skins, even though 2 of them were recolors of each other. But hey, free is free, and everyone loved them, especially the Icy Peely, which became an instant favorite. While the Nutcracker House was cool, we'd seen it before, so it wasn't exactly surprising. But the appearance of Spider-Man in the Winterfest trailer? That sent every Webhead fan into a frenzy. Epic even added full voiceovers for Peter Parker and MJ, which was a neat touch. Unlike the previous year, where Donald Mustard focused on game modes, this Winterfest shifted attention to community maps and creative mode. Meanwhile, General Frost kept things lively, driving around the island in his festive truck. Some lucky players got legendary weapons as gifts from him, while others, well, they ended up under the truck's wheels. Winterfest 2021 fixed a lot of the issues from Operation Snowdown. It might not have been the best holiday event ever, but it was atmospheric, festive, and fun. Now, for the gold medal, Winterfest 2019. This was the first Winterfest, and it set the bar so high that no other event has quite matched it. Back then, we got the legendary Nutcracker House as its own tab in the lobby, and the rewards were amazing. Some players still use the Millennium Falcon glider to this day. Most importantly, Epic gave us 2 free skins for the first time ever. Before that, the only free skins we'd seen were tied to promotional campaigns. On top of that, they brought back a ton of fan-favorite modes. Personally, I'll never forget the hype around the return of the John Wick mode, where you could unlock an incredible black umbrella. For context, that reward hasn't been seen in the game since. The excitement in the community was off the charts. The vibe that Winterfest 2019 created has yet to be matched by any other holiday event. So, there you have it. 6 years of Fortnite's holiday celebrations. In my opinion, every Winterfest has its charm, even with its flaws. The festive vibes always do their job. If you disagree with my ranking, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take, but since I'm not here just to chat, take a look at all the skins that appeared in this update. Big holiday shout out to everyone who watched this video to the end and hit that like button. This has been Punk. Have an absolutely amazing holidays time. Take care.